Good afternoon, shooters and Rotarians. I feel so welcome. I really do. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce Suzanne Wilhelm. She was born in Kansas. She graduated Fort Hays State University, where she earned a bachelor's and a master's degree. She is a licensed mental health counselor, which is why I think she chose me as a project, as well as a licensed alcohol and drug addictions counselor. In 2015, Suzanne moved to St. George. That same year, she became the CEO of an organization called Root for Kids, and she brought with her 30 years of nonprofit management experience. After being invited as a guest speaker at the Dixie Sunrise Rotary Club in 2016, she joined Rotary shortly thereafter. She has served in numerous leadership roles in Rotary, leading up to her current position as district governor. Suzanne enjoys hiking, golfing, racquetball, traveling, and discovering good food. Just this past April, 4 months ago, Suzanne married Suzanne Wilhelm, who, along with her daughters, provides some of the greatest blessings in her life. Ladies and gentlemen, Suzanne Wilhelm.
Thank you. Thank you. You don't need to stand, but thank you. Thank you. Do I need the microphone? Are you guys okay if I don't have the microphone? Or do I need the microphone? Okay, good. Because I talk with my hands, so, and I feel like really special with all this gear on. I've never had this, so. But I have to tell you guys, I have this terrible allergy cough. It's not contagious, I'm not sick, it's just a dry cough, so I may have to take a few pauses to drink. But I just wanted to start with sharing a little bit about why Rotary is important to me. As a young child, Rotary had a very subtle influence in my life. As a young child, we were very poor. We grew up very poor, and I had 4 older brothers. And as a child, I know what it's like to be hungry. We were hungry all the time, and there was never enough food. We were homeless at times. And luckily for us, there were people in our community who saw a need, and they reached out to us, and they provided food, they provided clothes, and sometimes they even provided shelter. I didn't know until years later that those generous hands that reached out to us as a family and to me as a child, those were the hands of Rotarians. And so when I wear my Rotary pin, it's not just a reminder to me of what it's like to be loved, seen, cared for when I had nothing to give in return, right? But it's also a reminder to me that we have a responsibility as Rotary, as Rotarians, we have a responsibility to get loud. So that is why I chose the color pink this year. You will see pink all the time because it's a loud, vibrant, kind of in-your-face color. And I think that's what we have to be as Rotarians. We have to tell our stories of why Rotary has impacted us personally and how it has impacted people globally. They also say, this is one of my favorite quotes, well-behaved women rarely make history. Ladies, you're with me on this, right? So I can tell you, we're not going to be the best behaved this year. We're going to get loud, but it's going to be the best year ever, and we're going to make some significant impacts. My commitment to you, I am your governor for this year and this year only, but my commitment to you is to lead with transparency and to lead with heart. I am going to make mistakes. I have already made mistakes 2 months into the role. I've made mistakes. I ask for you to give me grace and to stick with me through this journey. I also want you to know that I will be here to support you guys. You're gonna have some great celebrations, and I want to be right there with you to cheer you along. I also know that you may have some stumbling blocks along the way. You may have some failures. You may have some frustrations. And me and my district staff, we will be there, good and bad. We will be there to support you. This is a bottom up. This is not a top down structure in our opinions. We are here for you. And the thing that I want you to really understand is that I do know that this role is very important, but again, it's a title, and it's a title for 1 year. After 1 year, I will no longer be your district governor. That goes away. But what I get to take with me is the memories, those magical moments that we create together as I get to work alongside of you this year. And I want to thank you in advance for giving me that opportunity. And I really do want to be here to support you guys. So if you have activities and things, let me know. I'm down in St. George, but I'll make that trip for you guys. This is another way that Rotary has influenced my life. I have been divorced for 15 years, very happily divorced, me and my girls, I was fine. This handsome man right here, Suzanne Wilhelm, he walked into my life over a year ago, and I was introduced to him by my Rotary Club president. He is John's twin brother. He set us up on a blind date over a year ago, and 4 months ago we got married. And I joke because last year's theme was the magic of Rotary. This was pretty magical for me. So on the other side of John is my oldest daughter, that's Madison. She's 24, she lives in Portland, Oregon. And then my baby Bella, she's on the other side, she's 20. She lives down in St. George and she goes to Utah Tech University. This is my beautiful family that John brought into our marriage. This tall gentleman right here, this is Isaac, his son. Isaac is 6'7", very tall. He just got married 2 months ago to Lexi, who is 6'2". So you guys read in my bio, I love sports, I love basketball. So we're hoping for some NBA players, right? Next to me is his daughter Brittany and her husband Alex, and their 2 children, Sloan and Nolan. And then up in this upper picture here, this young woman here with the fun mohawk, that's his daughter, Becca, and her partner, Ryan. So they are important to me. They allow me to spend time with you. They give up their time with me so that I can spend my time with you. And it's a great gift. It's a great sacrifice, and I appreciate them doing that. Just a couple of people that I want to introduce if you haven't already met. This is your governor line. When we talk about governor line, we talk about the governor, governor-elect nominee. Peter Cardin, he's in the middle of all the beautiful women. Peter is your governor-elect. He comes from the West Jordan Rotary Club. And Sydney King, she comes from Boundary Rotary Club. She's the district governor-elect nominee. 2 people who have a long history with Rotary. You probably know both of them. 2 more people that I want to introduce to you is Scott Rosenbush. You guys know Scott, he's been a Rotarian for many years. I get the pleasure of, we're learning a dance together, Logan. You talk about dancing, we're learning to dance together. Scott, I always say Scott has to take care of all of this, which I know is a lot, but he's so gracious, he's so generous, and he's so kind to spend so much time with me and help me to really carve out what I hope to be a really great year. The other individual, you guys probably don't know him very well. He's really quiet. He's, kind of subtle, is your very own Logan Palmer. Logan will be your area governor this year. Logan was our membership chair. Is your boss here? No. He doesn't come to this. Isn't he? He does. Okay. I was going to reprimand him because Logan was our membership chair and we were so excited, but he's had to step down because of his responsibilities at work. But we're so gracious. I'm so gracious, or I feel so grateful that you've decided to stick with us for a year as our area governor. Another gentleman that you guys need to become familiar with, this is Francesco Orizo. He is the Rotary International President. You didn't get to meet him, did you? Because it was Mario at the time. But Francisco, again, when you get to that level, you just come with so much compassion, so much integrity, and so many years experience with Rotary. He has over 30 years experience in Rotary. He's from Ragusa, Italy, which is down way at the bottom of the boot by Sicily. Wonderful man, Italian, which I love that he's Italian. And if you guys know the Italian culture, it's all about togetherness. Everything's about being together, serving together, eating together. And that's his whole platform. He says, alone we can go nowhere, but together we can go anywhere and everywhere. And he encourages us to dream and dream big and make sure that we have people there to support us along those dreams. And he kept the platform of Mario, which was Unite for Good. And his whole thing is, in a world that's so divided and divisive, politics, religion, whatever, we are more divided now than we've ever been in the history of this world. And he kept the theme very proudly that we have to unite for good. So when I think of uniting for good, I think about when you walk through this door, you have to check your ego at the door. You have to leave all that behind and know that Rotary is all about collaborating. You guys are the great example of collaborators. You collaborate with Mid-Valley. You collaborate with so many people. The other thing is we have to listen deeply, even when it's hard. And then the most important thing that I think is we have to focus on what connects us as humans. What binds us, not on the things that are different than us. So I invite you to embrace that theme of uniting for good. This gentleman, they just announced a couple weeks ago, this is, I can't say his name, Ola Yinka, but he goes by Yinka, Yinka Babalola. He is the new Rotary International President-elect. He's the first gentleman from Nigeria to be a President-elect. So we're excited to have him.
Is he the one that's coming to district conference?
He's not. We'll get there. Yeah, the nominee is. We thought maybe Larry would move up, but they went back to the original cohort of people who applied. This may be familiar to some of you guys, some it may be foreign, but we spent some time at the board meeting talking about, Scott says I need the microphone.
I can't hear you.
Oh.
I know what you're saying.
I know, but I talk with my hands, so. Is it on? Now can you hear me? Now can you hear me? Now can you hear me? Can you hear me now? So this is the strategic plan for Rotary International, and I got to spend some time with your board, and we were talking about this strategic plan. So I apologize for the board members that this is redundant. But Rotary International created this in 2018, and they revised it again in 2024. And they look at 4 priority areas: impact, reach, engage, and adapt. And what they did with this strategic plan is they charged district governors around the world to focus on 6 priority strategies or goals. And we've invited your board, your club, to do the same. So the 6 goals that we have this year as a district is to really focus on membership. When you look at Rotary across the world, really 2 things are important: membership and money. So that's really what these 6 goals come down to. Our goal for the district is to increase membership by double-digit growth. That's a 10% growth. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot of work. But I think together, if we unite for good, we can make that happen. You guys have your own goal, which I think we calculated. It's about a 20% growth, which I really appreciate because that's going to get us there faster. So our goal by the end of this year, we'll have 1,802 members. We have kind of fluttered along that 1,600 mark forever. So my goal is to get us past that and into 1,800. We want to focus on increasing impact, and we're going to do this 3 different ways. We have a goal of raising $1 million for the Rotary Foundation's annual fund. We also have a goal of raising $500,000 for Polio Plus and creating 25 new benefactors. Now, I just found this out again at the board meeting. You guys are a very small club. You have 18 in your club, and you already have 4 benefactors. That's really impressive because I've worked with a lot of other bigger clubs that have way more members and no benefactors. To be a benefactor, you just have to donate $1,000 one time in your life, or you can bequest $1,000. This sometimes gets confused with Paul Harris Society, where you have to donate you pledge to donate $1,000 every year you're a Rotarian. So it's a lot less painful, but both are important. I don't want to dismiss the other one. The other thing that we want to focus on is enhancing participant engagement. We know that people join Rotary. Why do people join Rotary? That's why they stay. Yeah. They really want to serve. They join Rotary to serve. They stay because of the friendships. But we as a district, and you guys as a club, have adopted that 75% of your members will participate in community service activities this year. I can tell you, I went through your history, I stalked you on Facebook. You've blown that statistic out of the water. That's not going to be hard for you. And then the other thing we're asking clubs to do is develop a strategic plan. We really want to look at continuity of care, continuity of direction by having a 3-year strategic plan with rolling goals. I know you don't have a president-elect or a president-elect nominee, and that's okay, but the goals that you set, that Dave set with you guys this year, we want you to continue to work on those the next 3 years. And the same thing happens at the district level. Like I said, my role is, I'm a one and done, right? I'm governor 1 year, but I want to set goals that Sydney and Peter are going to adopt and carry out their year. Because I think historically governors have we get tunnel vision. This is what we want to do, but we forget to talk to the people behind us to make sure that they're part of that as well. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to accomplish the goals at the district, and how are we going to help you accomplish the goals at the club level? We're going to strengthen clubs. We're going to focus on making clubs vibrant. I don't feel like you guys have a problem with this. What do you call it? Is that your happy dollar sergeant of arms? That's fun. That creates such an amazing club culture, and I love seeing that. One of the things that I think we really need to focus on this year is a campaign that we're rolling out called Rotary Reconnects. They released a membership survey just a couple days ago. Can you not hear me? Is that a sign to speak louder?
Better when it's closer.
Oh, God. I think Scott needs to sit right here. All these guys are like, we got it. But in this, I know, in this survey, they found that 150,000 people join Rotary every year. The same time, 150,000 people walk out of our back door. My question is why? And particularly in our district, I want to know why people are leaving Rotary. I want to know if we as a district fail them. Did the club fail them? Why did they not have the club experience that they were hoping for when they joined Rotary? So we'll be reaching out to those people and having conversations and hoping that some of them we can reconnect with. We want to grow through service. We know that membership is not just about recruitment, it's about relevance. And what's relevant to people is really serving. That's why they join Rotary. This year we're going to do at least 2. I promise you at least 2. If we can do more, that's great, but I'm going to commit to 2 district-wide service activities where it's 1 day, 1 service, 1 district, and 1 impact. And we're going to be very loud and very proud when we talk about the impact of what we do. We also know that we have to develop leaders at every level. When I've been talking to clubs and board members, my question is, why do clubs struggle with trying to get leaders to step up? Why is it hard to get club presidents, club president-elects, club president-elect nominees? I feel sometimes, one, we ask a lot of them, right? Same thing with district governors, we ask a lot. But I also have found that some people don't feel confident, they don't feel competent, and they don't feel like they have the capability to do that. So the commitment we want to make as a district, we want to provide you with enough training so that anybody in your club feels comfortable stepping up to that role. And we're going to do that in a couple of different ways. One, we have our second cohort of servant leadership rolling out this fall. And that's a leadership series that people are welcome to take. We also have what we call fireside chats. Jose is going to lead this, and this is really talking to individuals about positioning themselves to take a role at the district level, whatever role that looks like for you. And the one that I think is so important is myself as a governor and the governor line has made the commitment that we personally will invest in future Rotary governors. So they have this program called Emerging Rotary Leaders. They do this at the Zone Institute. And I personally have found a Rotarian that I think will make an incredible district governor, and I have invested in them to attend this class. I'm asking the same thing from Sydney and Peter as well. And Logan, I believe you were one of those individuals that they're looking at. So welcome to the governor line. Okay. The other thing that we need to look at is how do we get Rotaractors more involved? We have historically talked about Rotaractors as the next generation. They're the next generations of Rotarian. I say we have to suspend that conversation and say that they're not the next generation, they're this generation. We need them now. We need to treat them as equals, and we need to bring them to the table. The other thing that I feel is so important, and I do think that you guys do a great job of this, and I think Mike, is it Mike that's responsible for this? Your presence on social media is really impressive, and I really appreciate you really marketing and showcasing what you do. And I look at all, I always say this, and I told you, I stalk you guys before I come here because I want to know what you're doing. And there was a lot of good stuff on your platform, so thank you for your time and energy in doing that. I think as a district, yeah, absolutely. As a district, we need to help you, and I want to make sure that we're sharing your stories on our district website and our social media platforms. So these are the goals that Dave has selected for you guys with your board of directors. Right now, his goal is to grow club membership to 22, which again, I said that's almost a 20% growth, which is commendable. Service projects, this one's kind of confusing because this talks about the number of projects where the goal really is a percentage of participants, but we calculated that, and if you guys have 15, you're going to obviously achieve that goal, and you're already doing it. Like I said, that's not a problem for you guys.
It's not service projects, that's people attending and doing a service project.
Right, thank you. And we figure you guys have to get 75%, it would be 13.5. I don't know who the half is, but 15 is going to achieve that easily. And for the annual fund, donating $2,500. Polio Plus is $2,500. And I challenged the board to adopt the other two goals of creating benefactors and developing a strategic plan, which I believe the board has bought onto. I'll let them decide after. I don't want to put you guys on the spot. But these are the 6 priority goals that we as a district will use to decide who the club of the year is going to be. These are the metrics we're using. We'll have small, medium, and large clubs, so it's equal across the board. This was fun, and Mike, again, thank you, because you made this easy for me. I got online and I saw a lot of the stuff that you are doing, and I know there's a ton more stuff on here that you're not doing, but these were just some that I got off of Facebook. So thank you for all your efforts. You guys are making amazing impacts here in your community. And what was impressive to me, it's not just in your community, it's globally. When I saw you have Armenia, Ghana, Guatemala, you guys are doing work around the world. So congratulations, that's really impressive. So like I said, Rotary International released a membership survey just a couple days ago. And I just pulled these slides because I thought they were kind of interesting. But when you look at the average age of a Rotarian, it's 62, you guys. Again, which is why we need to bring those Rotaractors. You're laughing, David. You brought that down, didn't you? It probably was 68 until you joined. Yes, no, I love that.
It would be even lower if I were to quit.
No, there's no quitting. There's no quitting.
No, I'm not that good.
But I do love seeing young, fresh faces.
Fail without you.
That's right. Correct. Please don't quit.
So the other thing that they found why people stay is really about enhancing the club experience, which again, I said when I walked in through this door, this is not a challenge for you guys. You model confident leadership. Dave has been impressive. He was impressive at Southwest Pets. I've appreciated getting to know you, and I look forward to working with you. But you have a great leader here. You have to make meetings valuable. You have to serve in meaningful ways, which looking at the list of things that you guys are doing, very, very meaningful. And you had to prioritize time for members to connect. Again, people stay in Rotary because of the relationships that they build along the way. I'm gonna skip, I skipped through that one. So here's the reason people are leaving. To me, it's not rocket science. It's the club culture, the club environment, not feeling like they're welcome, not being part of the bigger conversation. They have unmet expectations. Maybe they were promised something when they walked through the door and that wasn't achieved. Time and financial obligations. This is another thing I want to commend you guys for, is keeping your dues low. When I heard that your dues are $50 a quarter, that's impressive. My dues are $75 a month. And Scott.
$50 does not include meals.
Right, no, but I appreciate that, but ours is the same way. Scott belongs to the Salt Lake Club, which is Club 24. They're one of the first clubs, and he can tell you that their dues are very expensive.
$105 a month plus meals.
And the meals can range between $25 and $45 a meal. So kudos to you guys for making it accessible to people.
You have to buy lunch and but depending upon where we meet, it's either 25 or 40.
This was another slide that I pulled off that I thought was kind of cool as well. They say that Rotary clubs really have to have or should have one focus. And this came up at, Scott and I were visiting another club, and they said, you know, Rotary has gotten so confusing through the years. And when it started, it was all about eradicating polio. And we could all get behind that cause, and we were all working towards that cause. Now Rotary has adopted 7 other priorities, and it gets confusing for people. And so even at the club level, they say if you can focus on one cause, that's what really helps the club experience. Have affordable dues, which you guys already have. Meet twice a month. I thought that was interesting. Some clubs that we've been talking to, they meet twice a month. They have 4 meetings. They meet, they do a service project, they meet, and then they do a community service. So it really is up to you guys. Whatever works for you guys, it looks like this works. You know, I'd advise not to change what works. Have a wide range of ages, very evident in this group. And again, do service projects.
Hey, Suzanne.
Yeah.
So as I was doing some research, as you know, as the membership chair for a while, I actually started noticing that the clubs that have it just 2 times a month, that there's quite a few clubs in our district that do that. They are the smallest clubs in our district. Just want to bring that to your point.
Yeah.
That I think the reason why we have been growing really well and we're able to keep really good friendships and stuff is that we meet weekly.
Yeah.
And we did change it where we're not just meeting and having speakers, you know, 4 times a month. So we do the service and stuff like that, but just as
yeah, and I agree. I agree at some level. I think the thing about those clubs that are struggling, I would go to those club meetings and see what they're like. Because if they're having only 2 meetings and you don't have that club experience,
right,
they're gonna struggle. Yeah. Yeah. Let me look at time. Oh, I'm gonna skip through a couple of these slides. So this, I just had to showcase this. I always do, because this is my proud mommy moment. Again, all they were president-elects at the time. They were all in pink. So proud. And where are you, Dave? I know you're in there. You see him? Oh, there he is with his bandana. Look at him. Doesn't he look so handsome? You do. You're so fun.
Actually, you got your hair done for that.
He did, didn't he? He spent all day on that.
And again for today.
This next slide, I'm just going to spend a couple minutes because I hear that Jose already talked to you about this. But again, this is something that is super important to me. And if I can accomplish one thing as your district governor, this is what I want to accomplish. This $10 million endowment share program that we're hoping to raise this money for, and I really believe we can do it, you guys, but it's going to take each and every one of us to participate. Right now, as a state, we have $7,000 that comes back to our district for endowment share program. $7,000. If we can do this, we are going to raise $350,000 in perpetuity for this district. That is a legacy I want to leave for you guys, for future generations. And how that will work, I don't know if Jose went into detail how that worked. Did he do that, or so you guys understand it, so I can just skip through it? You want me to skip through it?
Take your highlights.
Well, what is important to me is, one, just to recognize that we ask so much of Rotarians, your time, talent, your treasure. We ask so much of you already, that of that $10 million that we hope to raise, we're really, only 25% of that is really we're working with Rotarians to help us gift that. The other $75,000 or 75%, we're working with foundations. We did have a meeting with Sharon Eubanks with the LDS Church. She's the Director of Humanitarian Services. We had a great conversation with her. She's not in a position to make that decision anymore, but what she did tell us was she encouraged us to write a letter and that she would take to the Utah presidency, which we felt having her endorsement was very positive. So again, we're about $3 million right now that we've raised 2 months into the campaign. So again, we feel like we can make that $10 million. This event will culminate on May 16th in Salt Lake City. We don't know all the details yet, but we will have a grand celebration. We'll have a gala. People are invited to attend that, but it will be very pricey because again, this goes towards a $10 million ask. We're asking that people will pay $5,000 to have a seat at a table at that fundraiser. Last thing I want to talk about real quick is our district conference. It's quickly approaching. Tuesday is the deadline for registration. That's the drop dead date that we have to close registration. You guys have 4 people coming from your club, which again, I think is impressive with a membership of 18. I would encourage others to participate. One of the things that we're so excited about is, Dave, I don't know if you remember hearing Larry Lunsford, he was at our what we call Southwest Pets, which is the training that president-elects go to. He was there and he was so impressive, and I heard him and I cried with him, and I'm like, I want this guy at our district conference. So we started planning early on. We got him scheduled. About a month and a half ago, I lose track of time, about a month and a half ago, they just released that he is our new Rotary International President-elect nominee. From the United States, he will be in St. George 3 days. He will be speaking only for 2 hours. That means the rest of that time, we have entree to him. We can have conversations with him. We can sit down. We can talk about the vision of Rotary International. We can talk about the vision of Utah. You can talk about the vision of your club. But I promise you, nowhere in your history or in your future of Rotary will you ever have this kind of time with a Rotary International president. Uninterrupted, no entourage, just him and you across the table. So if that doesn't sell it, I don't know what will. But what do they say? But wait, there's more. This is another individual that we're bringing to the conference. This is Roger Crawford. He does not have any hands, but yet he was a collegiate Title I tennis player. Again, another inspiring individual, great story. He's funny. He has a story of him playing football in college, scoring a touchdown. It's just so funny when he tells the story. That is actually one of the stories that they captured in Chicken Soup for the Soul.
If you don't come for Larry, come for Roger.
Dave heard him too.
Yeah, the one that you're making your wife go to for sure.
Yeah, he's just a great individual. So I'm going to leave you with one last thing. And Dave's like, this is like pets all over again, isn't it? I'm going to leave you with one last video.
Pay attention to the words that will be on the bottom.
TV ราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิมในชีวิตคุณอะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุดใครประกันชีวิต
So Dave, you're the president. My fellow Rotarians, this is your year. I leave you with this question. What is it that you desire? And whatever we can do to help you achieve that goal, we're here at the district to help you. So thank you.